guys, welcome back to Magic TV. It is, what day do we do this year? Tuesdays. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. We're at Magic TV HQ. It's tidy. We've tidied up. I've tidied up.
I've got a jacket on.
Because I'm heading off to do some badass performances in a minute. Well, I need to shave. I'm going to have a shave now.
I need a shave as well. I haven't had a shave for a few days. I feel like a hobo.
Yeah, but I'm going off and doing some performances for Alakazam. And talking about Alakazam, that's what this is all about today. We are doing another Craig test, Matt test, Craig test, whatever the hell these are. But we're doing it, grab the box, we're doing it on this. This is the hottest ticket item that's come out in a long time from Alakazam. So Alakazam Magic Auto Chair by Nikolas Mavresis. And what we have here is, this has come out recently. This is not a cheap product. This is like, this is like 150 quid. This is designed realistically for stage performers, but what you have here is a system that allows you to do a chair test, but there's a lot of, it's open to interpretation because you get a lot of stuff inside the box that allows you to go in different directions with it. You can customize it as much as you want to. You don't even need to use chairs if you don't want. And you being somebody who likes performing on stage.
I do.
And likes doing mentalism.
I do.
And likes Alakazam.
I do.
And also has a man crush on Simon Lipkin.
I do.
Who presented this project. This seemed like the perfect one for Matt to look at. So this is going to be the first live Matt / Craig test because myself and Matt and Ryland went to the Ferrybridge Day of Magic.
It was epic.
It was amazing.
Everyone needs to go to the Ferrybridge Day of Magic next year. It was amazing.
Definitely, I'm going back next year. I'm going back next year. And basically, it was a Magic TV takeover on the gala show. Like I did a couple of bits. You then came out and did a couple of bits, and then Ryland closed the show.
Yeah.
And it was Auto Chair that you decided to do. And you'd been learning this for a few days beforehand. You'd been kind of getting yourself familiar with it. And so
I was messaging Simon.
Yeah. And so
what do I do?
And so we've got the actual footage of Matt doing this live at the Ferrybridge Day.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
We've never done this before, so we've got live footage.
I wanted to do it, but then we can't do it in here because I need 5 people, and we ain't got like 5 people that we can drag away from their computers and stuff. So we just thought, fuck it, we'll do it live, see what happens.
Yeah. I know you've got lots of thoughts on this. I've got lots of thoughts on this as well. This is going to be a slightly different test in that I know how this works as well. You know how this works. This isn't about him trying to fool me or me trying to fool him. This is more about kind of doing a review on something that a lot of people are talking about at the moment, and talking about the pros and the cons. And that's what kind of this video is all about. Now, we're going to play the performance, first of all, that you did at Ferrybridge. I do want to point out that this is a very different structure.
I'll explain why. I will explain why. But this is different. Oh, yeah. Just play it and then I'll explain.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So this is Matt performing live at the Ferrybridge Day of Magic, doing...
Don't judge me. They're all going to judge me. They're all going to judge me.
Judge him. Be judgy.
Don't judge me.
Be judgy. This is Auto Chair by Nikolas Mavresis, presented by Simon Lipkin from Alakazam Magic.
Right, there's been loads of magic today. It's been absolutely brilliant. Chris Rawlins' lecture was just incredible. He was great. There was another lecturer as well. That guy, he was all right. So I wanted to show you something that was a little bit different to a magic trick. So I've been doing a lot of research because I've been getting into the mentalism stuff, and there's been loads of research. One thing that I noticed when I ever see any magicians perform, they always use the term random. Random is this term that everybody throws around just to make things seem more impossible, right? But I've been looking into it, and is random really random? I'm not entirely sure. There's loads of scientific research online that states that random isn't actually random. A single person has a difficult time computing what true random actually is. But all of these scientific researches that I did show that groups of people, things become way less random. It's way more predictable when there's a group. I wanted to give you a little example of what I mean. And in order to be able to do so, I'm going to need some volunteers. So put your hands up if you're happy to come up and sit on a chair. Danny, you've been on a stage for everything else today, so you might as well. Mark, you're right at the front. Come on, dude, you might as well. Do you want to come and sit on a chair? Come and sit on a chair. You want to come and sit on a chair, little dude? Yeah? Come on, man. Come and sit on a chair. One more. Do you want to come and help? Perfect. You are not coming up here. Okay, just sit on any sit on any chair that you wish. Any chair that you wish. Right, so random is a term that we all throw around all the time. Magicians, I hear them say it all the time. Pick a card at random. That Rubik's Cube has been mixed up randomly. Take the deck of cards and cut them. You've cut them in a random place, right? But it's not. We all know that it's not random. And it got me thinking about the term in general. And like I said, these scientific theories that I've been looking at say that nothing is truly random. I'm going to give you an example. Right, lads, everybody on your feet. Randomly sit in a chair. Change places. Move around. Is that random? Actually, can we have a bit more? Right, Craig, can we have a bit of music? Random, any random song? Really?
Random.
Randoms. This is the random song you went for.
This is random.
On your feet again, lads. Let's do one more. Let's have a bit of a dance. Let's have a bit of a boogie. Make it look interesting for the audience. Everybody shift around. Everybody move places. That wasn't anywhere near energetic. Up again. Up again. One more. One more. One more. As random as you can possibly make it. Perfect. Danny, do me a favour. I want you to mix these cards up, okay? Just like this. So mix them up as many times as you want. Just keep mixing, and we're going to make this as random as we possibly can. They've sat in any chair that they want to sit in. Danny's now mixing up the envelopes. Are you happy? All right, cut it. Right, you take one. You take one. You take one. Hold them against your chest. Perfect. Okay. So is that fair? That's random, right? It's fair. They sat in any chair that they wanted to. Danny mixed up the envelopes. We've handed them down the line. It's random. Agreed? Or is it? Because I don't think random really exists. So if random doesn't exist, and groups of people can make decisions without even realising they're doing it, that completely defeats the random theory, then it isn't random. But how do we prove it? How do we prove it? One more time, lads. On your feet. Move to the backs of your chairs for me. Perfect. Take your card out of that envelope. Just slide it straight up and then put it on the front of the card. And hold them both against your chest for me. Perfect, just like that. Is that yellow? So if this was random and you randomly sat there, after 3 attempts of finding a seat to sit in, and you randomly shuffled up the cards, why is your chair the yellow chair? And if it is random, you do the same. Pull out your card, put it on the front of the envelope for me. Blue. Lads, everybody pull out your cards, pull out your picture cards, put them on the front of the envelope for me, and then hold them against your chest, just there. Perfect. Is that random? Do we have an orange, a green, and a red? So they all match. But it's totally random. Wait. It's totally random, right? Lads, if you turn around your envelopes, you should have a number written on the front of the envelope. Show everybody that number. Just put that in front of there like that for me. Perfect. 45132. You want to do me a favour? So that lock there. Go and put the number 45132 into that padlock and see what happens. Just double check it, make sure there's a couple of numbers. Check it out, just give it a pull. Know that it's not on that number. Make sure it's locked. It's definitely locked, yeah? Yep. Put in 45132. And let's see what happens. You do it? 45132. Give it a pull. Is that opened? Yeah. Open it up and see what's inside. Hold up what's inside so everyone can see. It's a boxing glove to go with the random music that was played earlier. And lads, one more thing. Can you just turn around everything together and show them what's written on the back of those cards? Rocky! Thank you so much, everybody.
So that was a great performance.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, you have a habit of taking things and making it your own. And you really made that your own, with the padlock and the numbers opening up the padlock. That was not, and the way that you actually got into it was very different to what they talk about on the project as well.
Yeah.
So can we talk about what you actually get and what the instructions kind of give you, not giving anything away, obviously, but talk about what you actually get and then your reasons for changing it, and then more importantly, what you think of the trick. Because he came off stage, I hope you don't mind me saying, you felt that you didn't do your best performance.
No.
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I really did. But let's do this. So talk about Auto Chair first of all.
Okay, so basically what you get in the box is a whole bunch of stuff. So these are the straps for these things. So you get 5 coloured pieces of like card, plasticky type of stuff with the holes in. So these will, basically they're a chair test that you can use on any chair. If you've used some chair tests, they're very specific to the chair. You have to have the right type of chair to make them work. These, you can put them on any chair because the Velcro goes around inside these straps and then you can attach them to any chair you like. The chairs that are on that chair test that you just saw, they came from the venue. And you can literally use any chairs you want, which is great because you don't have to carry 5 fucking chairs around.
You don't even need to take chairs if you don't want to.
You don't have to do chairs. I'll go into that in a moment. You don't have to do chairs. You also get these very well made, very slick, they're perfect size for stage. 5 envelopes with the numbers printed on the front of them. That's got nothing to do with it. That was something Chris Rawlins gave me. You also get another envelope with a question mark on it, which is part of Simon's routine. And then you get all of these different cards that are all different colours, all the 5 different colours, and you get a bunch of them, and a lot of them have these pre-written words on the back of them, so you can have, like, if you watch the either the tutorial after you've bought it, or if you want to go and watch the trailer, Simon's performance on the trailer, he has people up on stage and he selects the people. Again, different to how I did it, but I'll go through why in a second. So all of this comes within the box as when you bought it. So everything's there that you need to do, multiple different routines. You get a bunch of these coloured cards as well that have got nothing on the back of them, which is what I used. So the ones that I used, I think, are still in here, which they are. So I just wrote on the back of them, which you can do. And you get another bunch of them, so you can do a couple of different routines. So that's what comes in the box. On the tutorial itself, you get live, which is the same live performance you see in the trailer, but it's the full live performance. It's edited down in the trailer for, obviously, because you can't have a trailer that's fucking 10 minutes long. So, unless you're Craig Petty, which Simon and Alakazam are not. So, you get the full live performance of Simon's, I think that's of Nikolas's routine that Simon does. So the way that he does it is he has the envelopes, he has the words in the back of them, and when he does a comedy routine at the start where he gets them to select a card which isn't the right card, which is a funny gag to start it off. He then opens the envelopes and it's got the person with the beard, he's holding the one where they're always just a man with the beard. The only woman, he's the one in the middle, and it's a completely different routine. But you can go and watch the trailer.
That concept of predicting the type of person you're going to end up with is not a new thing in mentalism. Like that's been done before, like getting the right person on stage and manipulating events in order to make sure that the predictions are correct. I mean, the thing that springs to my mind is like the heads and tails style routine. Yeah.
So, but the reason that I did it differently, there was a couple of reasons. First of all, in the routine, and Simon says himself during the tutorial that the way that he presents it in the explanation on the tutorial is not the way that he does it. He does it differently again to the trailer and the way that I've just done it. So it just shows there's multiple ways that you can perform this and you can kind of cater it to how you wanted it to. The reason that I did it the way that I did it is because I like the idea of having the people on stage mix themselves up. I think that on the other routine, the one that's on the trailer, you have to have the people in. I don't know whether, can I say that? You have to have the people in.
Yeah, be careful, but yeah, you can.
Yeah. So there's other things there's certain things that you have to do crowd management wise to make that method work. Whereas the way that I did it, you can get people up on stage, tell them to sit wherever they want, then get them to stand and move around and sit down wherever they want, and it's more random. But the move is effectively the same.
Yeah.
That I did. It's the same move. that Simon does. I just presented it in a slightly different way. So it just shows that it's, you know, it is quite versatile. You can kind of make it your own. You can change it if you want to. You can do it however you want to do it. And one of the reasons why I decided to do it differently to the tutorial was to show that there are multiple ways that you can make this work. And it's all doing the same move, which is it's a really simple move.
Yeah.
To the point where even I could do it.
Yeah, which is amazing. But here's the thing. Before we go on as to why you changed everything else, which you always do. There's some people on the Magic Cafe that are saying that one issue that they have with Auto Chair is it's too obvious. The method is too obvious. In terms of, you know, I'm trying to do this without giving too much away.
Yeah.
They perceive that the method is too obvious. Now, I personally lean towards, are they thinking like a magician?
Which is exactly what I did when I first saw it. I was like, that's too obvious. Everyone's going to see that. And then Simon, literally, as I went into my head and went, everyone's going to say that. Everyone's going to know what that is. Simon literally on the video said, you could do this as blatantly as you want, and no, I promise you that no one's going to see it. And I'm like, okay, am I thinking like a magician? I might be, I'm not sure. But I wasn't. The way that, I can't say too much, the way that it's done on the tutorial, which I'm not sure is the way that Simon does it live himself, but the way that it's done on the tutorial, which I'm guessing is the way that Nikolas told him to do it, it doesn't seem as impossible as it could be, because when you split 5 into 2,
yep,
you've only got 2 in this hand.
Yeah.
So how much can you possibly mix up 2?
Yeah. No, I understand.
Does that make sense? So that's why I did it the way that I did it, where I gave all 5 to one person, and then used a bit of crowd management.
Well, there was a bit of dual reality going on there.
A bit of dual reality and a bit of, yeah, exactly. So I gave all 5 to one person and then used a bit of dual reality to make it look, I think, and I had some advice from a really close friend, as well as you, not that you're not a close friend, but I had some advice from, that came out wrong. I had some advice from you and then another close friend, who's an incredible mentalist, that the way that I went, if we do it like this, is that going to be more fooling? But bearing in mind as well, the thing that I had in the back of my mind the whole time I was doing this is I'm going to be performing to a room full of fucking magicians, right? I'm performing at a magic convention to a room full of magicians. It's not like I'm walking out at a corporate event and performing to a bunch of lay people. The routine that I put together was the most fooling way that I could think to do this, bearing in mind I was working with a bunch of magicians.
Yeah.
So that was another one of the reasons why I did the routine like I did. But I think the version where you hand them all to one person and then do a bit of dual reality, as long as you're comfortable doing that, I think that's more fooling than the way that it's done in the tutorial. But that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think that the method that's presented by Simon that Nikolas goes through, I think that would absolutely fly. I mean, the thing is, you can get away with so much as a magician. You can get away with so much as a mentalist. And I think that, I mean, you've seen me do card in the box. Yeah. If I said to you, I'm going to put that deck of cards under that box over and over again, you're going to be staring at it and you're not going to see me put it under there, you probably wouldn't believe me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know what I mean? And you get away with it because it's amazing what you can get away with as a performer and what you can kind of like, literally stuff flies. Spectators will just see things being mixed up and, you know, it's kind of moving on quickly and moving on quickly and moving on quickly. Having said that, I do think with the way you did it and having one person mix them up, I think that's actually probably a better way of doing it. Honestly, I think that's a better way of doing it.
To magicians, I felt
like stuff magicians, I think that's just a really nice way of doing it. You know, I think that's...
I mean, because I'm standing at that point, which I don't very often do if I can help it, but I've got my back to the audience because I'm talking directly to him. So the idea was that I'm going to shield what's happening from the audience, which means the magicians aren't going to see it because they're magicians and they're looking for stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dual reality. It's a little bit, what
yeah.
you were doing there is a little bit like The Solution by Michael Murray. It's a bit sort of that sort of vein.
Yeah, so I was just trying to hide as much as I possibly could from the magicians, but having them pick their own chairs and all that kind of stuff, and then being randomly mixed up and handed down the line.
Is that why you didn't go for the guy with the beard, the guy with the hat?
Yeah.
Because for you, it was more important to have a really fair procedure to have the people sit down than it was to have that very specific.
I sacrificed the man with the beard pulls out the man with the beard, woman pulls out, I'm the only woman on stage. I sacrificed that to make it more fooling, which I don't know if it's the right decision or not, but that's the decision I made. And at the end of the day, it means that now when people are watching it, they've got the trailer that they can watch to see the way that Simon and Nikolas did it. They've now got another version to see the way that I did it. And at the end of the day, it's just more options for people. People have got a better idea of what you can do with it before they decide whether they want to buy it or not.
Another thing that I've seen on the Magic Cafe that's worth discussing, and I completely disagree with this, but it's worth bringing up, is I've seen people say that however you do this, it's the same revelation done several times. In that, the way you did it, for example, if you've got the colours in order, then the numbers are going to be order. If numbers are going to be in order, obviously the padlock's going to be correct. And do you know what I mean? My attitude is I don't think that's a problem. I think that, and I'll give you proof that I don't think it's a problem. Look at Ryan's audition for America's Got Talent. We basically did the same thing. He did that scam thing. The first revelation was the judges had the correct pictures. The second revelation was the kids on stage with him had word equals scam on the back of their t-shirts, and the third revelation is he wrote scam all over the desk.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same prediction, really, but we framed it in a way to make it each one look different to the previous one, and he got a standing ovation from that. Yeah. As I think personally, as long as, and the way you did it, it felt completely disconnected. It felt like, okay, wow, look, the colours match, that's amazing. Oh, but the padlock opens. It didn't feel like the same thing. It felt like a totally different prediction because of how you framed it. And I think that people that are worried about that, I think they're worried maybe based on something that you shouldn't worry about, or maybe they haven't got that much performing experience. I don't know, but
no, I totally get it. I understand what they're saying, and to a degree, I actually agree with them. I think that you do one thing, you do one move, and then all three of the revelations are all based off of that one move. You're not doing anything different.
Yeah,
nothing else happens. So you do one move. You hand out the cards to people, hand out the envelopes to people, and then all of the predictions from that point on, all of the revelations are based on that one move.
Yeah.
So if you're paying attention as a magician or whatever, if you're paying attention, you'll know that obviously all three, the second and third revelation have got to be right because the first one was.
Yeah.
The only way to get around that, which is what I tried to do, was to, like when Simon reveals on the trailer, it gets them to take out the coloured pieces of card, the number's already been revealed. I wanted to do it slightly differently. So I wanted to reveal the chairs first because I thought that was quite a visual thing to do, get them to reveal the chairs. And then I turned the cards around in the envelopes and put them in the other way. So when they pull out the colours, the numbers are still facing their chests. So then it's a completely different reveal of, hold on a second, if you turn them around, they turn them around and all the numbers are now there. And oh wait, that box that's been there from the very, very start. And it's kind of a bit of time misdirection.
Yeah.
Where you're just kind of separating the one reveal as much as physically possible from the next reveal, hoping to God that people won't realise that it's the same reveal three times. So I think the more misdirection you can put into it and the more time delay you can put into it, it kind of negates that. But I totally understand what they're saying, and they're correct. It is the same reveal three times, but it's up to you as a performer to then make that work.
Yeah. You know where I think this will be best for? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think this suits you that much.
Great, thanks for the confidence.
No. Look, you did it and you did it great. And I think that the whole routine with the Rocky and the boxing glove was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think that you would kill with this if you put it in your show. But I think the problem is this is kind of almost a little bit too similar to other stuff that you have in your show.
There are other things where I get 5 people
Imposter,
up
which
on
I
the
know
stage.
you're never going to get rid of.
No, I love that.
It's not the same thing, but it
Psychology.
feels like the same thing.
5 people on
Psychology,
stage.
5 people.
Yeah.
I think this is too similar to other stuff that you do. I tell you where I think this would be best. There's a lot of close-up magicians these days that are wanting to move into stage magic. Maybe they're wanting to upsell a wedding client by saying, hey, would you like a half-an-hour show at the end of me doing close-up? And a lot of people haven't got close-up magic, and they haven't got stage magic. They don't really know what to do on stage.
We can do one 10-minute piece at
Yeah,
the end.
do
of
one
it.
10-minute piece.
A lot of corporate clients ask for that.
This is something that takes up no space in the car. You've got lots of different
It
options.
takes up more space than Imposter, though.
It packs small. It packs small. It plays big because of the 5 chairs and because of the way it's all set up. You could do this on a dance floor at the end of a close-up job and really kind of get everyone interested in what you're doing. And if you're doing it at a wedding, for example, you could engineer it so it could be the bride, the groom, the best man. You know, so it's kind of like, rather than never trust a guy with a beard, it's like, I don't know, the woman sitting here will be in a white dress and be the happiest person in the room, you know, or whatever it may be. Likewise, with a corporate, you could have like the MD and the HR director and stuff like that. And you could have the revelations tied into their job title. I think that's where this, if somebody is a close-up magician and they're wanting to put a 10-minute piece together to upsell to their client at the end of the act, I think that having this is something that would play big and packs really, really small. And you've got the advantage of having Simon Lipkin's performance on it, and let's be honest, Simon knows what he's doing.
Simon 100% knows what he's doing. And the tutorial's really good. He goes through everything in great detail. Like, Simon's obviously very eloquent. He's really easy to watch, really easy to learn from.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see, because he says that he does the performance differently when he does it. It would be interesting to see his performance as well.
But also, for anybody watching this video, you've got Matt's performance as well. I mean, that was an example of how to... No, seriously, that was an example...
to do it.
No, that was an example of how to take something and make it your own. I mean, you really sat down. You didn't just go, right, okay, this is how it's done, do it exactly the same. You sat down, you thought it through. You were like, right, what am I going to do? You scripted the whole thing about random. You had the Rocky music. You gave it a production value and took it in a completely different direction. I think anybody watching this should use that as a lesson and kind of say, right, when you get a trick like this and you're performing on stage, it's important to make it your own. It really is.
And it evolves. Like, that was the first time I did it, and I did it to a room full of magicians. If I was going to do that again to a room full of lay people, it would be completely different again.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you do this kind of thing. Like, the more you do imposter. Like, from the very first one where people saw me do imposter on here when I did it at the Curious Cabaret, it's completely changed now because it just evolves over time, and these kind of pieces do evolve over time. I think that this is £150.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
It's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
And there are other things out there like psychology, like imposter, that are a fraction of the price, pack smaller.
Yeah.
And
but what I like about this is it looks bigger. This looks big.
It looks big. I mean, how much you...
No, but the point I'm trying to make is Imposter's amazing, by the way. It's one of my favourite tricks of this year. I don't want to take anything away from Imposter. But what I'm saying is sometimes you don't get this. You'll never get this because you've come into magic having spent decades working on stage. But one of the most terrifying things for a close-up magician to do when they go on stage is to walk on stage with no props pretty much and just have an audience and go out and do magic. A lot of magicians hide behind. That's why, me included, I did close-up magic for years. When I put the reason I put the illusion show together is because I wanted to hide behind big fucking boxes. I was like, no, genuinely, I didn't want to just be on stage and have it just me. And I think the problem with Imposter is that it's just you on stage with 5 people. Which I know you are. That's not the point. I know you are. And Imposter's amazing. What I'm saying with this is you've got 5 chairs, you've got props, you can hide behind the prop, you can make it look bigger than the performance actually is because of what you have in the box is what I'm saying there.
Yeah. I think £150 is a lot of money for one move, and I think that
but
I don't know.
Well, hang on.
I don't know whether it's too much money.
But here's the thing, right? It's context. What I mean by that is a Stebbins deck you can buy for £5. If it was 100, if I told you right now, you're not allowed to perform Stebbins unless you paid £150 for a license that would allow you to perform that routine, you would pay that £150. No, you would, wouldn't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you would, because that routine is a big part of your act. A trick becomes expensive or not expensive based on whether you're going to use it or not. If this is something that somebody buys and they go, you know what, this is fucking amazing, this is going straight into my repertoire, I'm going to put this in every show, £150 is a drop in the ocean.
If you're out and you're a paid stage performer and you're doing it week in, week out.
Or even if you're a paid close-up performer and you're wanting to put a 10-minute show together for your clients, this could be it's context. You know, I get this all the time. How many times do we get a question on the Q&A, Michael? Oh, what's your thoughts on whether tricks are too expensive or not expensive?
Quite often.
Like, we get it all the time. And my attitude is a creator and a production company can charge whatever they want to, and it's up to you to decide whether or not it's worth the money. And one of my signature tricks that has literally taken me around the world, and I know you love it, is the cards across.
Yeah.
Superfly by it's my variation, but it's Superfly by Scott Alexander, the thing with the knob gag and everything.
Yeah.
I did it at Ferrybridge, right?
I know you did.
It's a great trick. It cost me £150 and I got a handkerchief and some envelopes. I got a handkerchief with a stick and I got some envelopes and it cost me £150. And I'm telling you right now, it's the best £150 I ever spent, because that trick has literally opened up more doors in this industry for me than anything else. And there's other people that go, Superfly, why would you pay £150 for a stick and some... Well, it's about, for me, that was worth... If somebody told me I would have to pay £500 to do that trick right now, I would say, here's the £500, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's the same with this. It's the same with this. You are thinking, is it too expensive? Because honestly, I don't think you're ever going to do this again.
There's other things that I've got that I'm more comfortable with and that I think I perform better.
Yeah.
I perform imposter better than I perform that. I perform psychology better than I perform that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And even if I spent the next 6 months working on that the same as I did with imposter, I still think I'd be better at perform. Still think imposter would suit me better than that personally. But that's just me. You know, if you watch the tutorial that Simon, if you watch the trailer that Simon does, if you watch the performance that I've just done, and you've gone, I could do that better than that, buy it, go for it. Well, if you've got a routine that you could use and you could go out and you could smash this and you could get amazing reactions from it, go for it. It's good. It's you know, it does exactly what you expect it to do. It's simple enough that you can perform it on stage quite comfortably and focus purely on your performance, which a lot of stage pieces, I think that's really important, that you can just go out there and you can do it and you haven't got to worry about it's really simple to do. You haven't got to worry about really
and you say
complicated moves.
You say £150 is expensive for a stage piece. Like, we've just gone and picked up the masterpiece by...
yeah, but that's different.
Well, it's not. It's not. We've just picked up the masterpiece. It's going to be an 8-minute part of the show and it's £3,000.
Yeah.
Next week, we're picking up T-Cut. It's $2,500 for a 4-minute part. Well, actually, when Ryland's going to do it, it's a 30-second piece in his show.
Yeah, but that's different.
And we paid £2,500.
That's a full-on illusion.
Yeah, but this is a full-on piece. For somebody
It's
to
a
put,
piece.
Yeah, it's a full-on illusion. There's no difference between an illusion and this could be a full-on piece in someone's show, in a mentalist show.
But that's what it's designed to be.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be in somebody's show.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
you know
not
what?
an illusion.
And the other thing is, you could do this for kids. We haven't even discussed kids' parties. You could do this with colours. You would adapt it to pictures of Mickey Mouse or whatever, and put masks on them with Mickey Mouse and everything. I know I would do that in a kids show tomorrow. I know I could take that out to a kids show and absolutely kill with it, and get the kids to sit down and get a parent to mix up the just like you did it with one person. Get a parent to mix up the envelopes and then hand the envelopes to the kids, and inside there and have pictures of cartoon characters and stuff, and the cartoon. That'd be a great kid show trick. You couldn't do imposter as a kid show trick.
It's not designed to be a kid's show trick, is it?
No, but that's not. and again, I'm not taking anything away from imposter. I think it's the trick of the year so far, and it's better than auto chair. It is, but I just think this has potential. This has.
It definitely has potential. If you like performing chair tests and you've got a really good routine that you can put together with that and utilize what they give you, it's great.
Yeah. So what are you giving it? Bearing in mind, 79% is the highest mark you can give something if you're not going to do it. I am going to give this. I'll be honest, I wouldn't do this in a stage show, but genuinely, I'd consider doing this in a kid show. I think that this could literally bring the house down in a kid show. Doing a musical chair style thing, having music go on, getting them all to bounce around on the chairs. I think you could. I'm going to speak to Pete about me putting together a kid show presentation for this and adding it to people's accounts, because I think this could be one of the best kid show tricks ever. Mentalism for kids, what's not to love? So I'm going to give it 85% because I think that I could do this in a kid show and kill with it.
Okay. Yeah, for reasons that we've already said, I think 79%.
There you go.
Because I think I've got other things that I would rather do.
79% for Matt, 85% for me. So it's now official. Pete, if you're watching this, and I know he always watches the ones that we reviews products, Matt hates you. Please remember that. If I was doing this with Ryland, you'd get 120%, Pete. That's all I'm saying. If Ryland was sitting here, it'd be 120%. I'm very sorry you lost 41% because he hates you. He's naughtiest. That's what it is. He's jealous of you. He's jealous.
Pete knows that I love Pete. I love Alakazam. Love Simon. That I've got no issues.
Oh, I know you love.
With
I know you love Simon. I know you love Simon. You want to love Simon in a very special way. You want to put your hand up his puppet. Avenue Q.
I'm going to see Avenue Q.
I know, it's very excited. Very excited.
I've got.
See, he didn't deny it, by the way. I'm just pointing that out. He didn't deny it.
What?
He just got very excited when I talked about puppets and hands. Anyway, we'll be back again next week with another mat test. We'll go back to normal next week, I promise. On behalf of
What's normal?
I have no idea. On behalf of the Lipkin-loving Matt Cluley and myself and Michael behind the camera, thank you once again for joining us. This is Auto Chair. We'll see you again soon.